Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas!
Well, hello and welcome to today's episode of Need I Say Myrrh, the Christmas podcast. And today I'm delighted to welcome Sophie Killingley. Hello, Sophie.
Hello.
Thank you for joining us for today's podcast. Are you feeling festive?
I'm feeling very festive. I'm wearing my sparkly headbands, my Christmas Grumpy Star earrings, and my Manger Things jumper.
Manger Things, yes. I wonder, though, some people may not know who you are. Who are you? What do you do? Where are you? Why are you here?
I mean, who are any of us, Adam, and why are we here?
That's quite a profound question. This is turning into a different kind of podcast.
It really is. But anyway, to keep it simple, I am Sophie Killingley. I'm a freelance artist living in Surrey. I'm married to Pete, and we've got 2 teenage kids and a cat called Major Tom. So, we're part of a church family in near Godalming. So.
Okay. Is Major Tom a big fan of Christmas?
I mean, he is generally, but he doesn't like it when I try and dress him up, which I do. I have a cat Christmas hat. I've been eyeing up various jumpers in shops for him. So that bit he's less keen on, but, I try and keep those to just a minimum for photographs.
Okay. Well, that's good. Well, I hope that Major Tom does have a good Christmas this year. That's good.
Oh, I'm sure he will.
And you mentioned that you are a freelance artist. It's been an exciting year for you because you have launched a new online shop. Do you want to do a quick 20-second plug for your shop?
Okay. So, my kind of brand name, as it were, is Perish and Fade. So it's perishandfade.com. And that's where I sell all my prints. I do some kind of big abstract works, but also a lot of niche Christian humour and satire work as well. And I'm also selling Christmas cards as well on there, and lots of prints, which would be excellent Christmas gifts. Oh, and you'd be supporting an independent artist. Wow, how smug would you feel?
That's a very good plug. And I am a satisfied customer, so I'll add my little plug. And didn't we agree any sales through this podcast, I get 20% commission? We did agree that before recording.
I made no agreement, Adam, but
okay, well, we'll chat about it afterwards. Anyway, but you mentioned that I'm interested to chat to you a bit about Christmas cards, because you do sell Christmas cards, which you produce yourself. And I'm wondering, as an artist, what your view is on the range of Christmas cards typically available in your standard shopping outlet.
Interesting. Well, I don't know. There's a lot of different ones. I mean, I quite enjoy ones which have a bit of humour or satire in them, usually in reference to like the nativity account. I really like one with a good joke on it. But yeah, a lot of them are a bit schmaltzy, a bit Victorian. So I'm not so keen on those ones with the schmaltz. And also anything that has glitter stuck to it, because it inevitably gets everywhere. So, and I like a nice niche pun, or a nice bit of kind of bold graphic artwork. I mean, like something like this, for example, which is my piece on Earth.
Yes. So, that is sadly, because it's not a video podcast, people will have missed that very attractive card that can be bought from perishandfade.com. And you've got a special deal on Christmas cards. I'm trying to get my commission, you see. Special deals, you order a certain amount, you get something, I can't remember. Anyway, we'll get into the questions that I've asking every guest who appears on this podcast about some of your Christmas preferences. Starting with Sophie.
Yes.
What is your favourite festive food item?
That is a big question. I mean, there's so many things I could go for here, so many kind of genres of food groups I could go for, but I have decided to go for Christmas pudding. Because
interesting.
No one else in my family likes it or eats it. So I generally don't make it, but my mum usually makes one for me because she loves it too. So, and she usually pumps it full of the good stuff. So it's got a nice little dousing of like rum and brandy, which then you light with the lighter. So that's kind of my favourite, because I usually get to have the whole thing to myself, just me and my mum.
Does she have a special family recipe that's been handed down through generations?
I don't know if it's a family recipe, but I believe Delia has an excellent one.
Are you related to Delia?
No.
No. Yeah, okay. Christmas pudding.
I mean, well, there are Christian versions where someone's injected Shloer into it or something, but for me, I like
you don't inject Shloer into, but do you have some Shloer with it though? As an accompaniment.
Those days are behind me. I've had lots of Shloer in my time. I've done my Shloer.
Well, let's come to the next question then.
Mm-hmm.
What is your favourite non-religious Christmas song? Obviously, as Christians, we talk a lot about carols. There are lots of other songs in the world. And I wonder what your favourite non-religious Christmas song is.
Interesting. Well, I think I'm wondering how many other people will say this, but I do participate in Whamageddon. I don't know if you've come across Whamageddon.
What?
Whamageddon.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay, so Whamageddon is something a lot of people across the country participate in, and it's to do with the song "Last Christmas" by Wham.
I've heard of that. Yes. Okay.
Yeah. So that is my favourite Christmas, probably non-religious Christmas song, "Last Christmas" by Wham. But the aim, weirdly, with Whamageddon is to try and avoid hearing it until Christmas Day itself. Right. And so that means trying to avoid it being played on the radio or in the shops. And so if you hear it, you are out. And so lots of people participate and then we'll post maybe to social media like, I went into Lidl's and Wham was playing and now I'm out. So, yeah, it's a fun game.
I've really never come across that. And it is a good song. It's our 8-year-old son's favourite Christmas song as well. Yep. So you're in good company.
Yep. Kind of avoid it, which is a bit weird because I do love it. But sometimes, there's just no escaping it. I'll switch the radio on when I go to pick up the kids from school and bam, I'm out. So then I can just enjoy it for the rest of the season.
What's your best performance with Whamageddon?
What, my best performance? As
in how close you've got to Christmas Day without hearing it?
Oh, I see. Sorry, I thought you meant my own karaoke performance.
No, we'll do that at the end, yeah.
Yeah. I have made it to, I think, Christmas Eve. I have made it to Christmas Eve.
That's impressive.
But then the next year, I didn't try so hard because, frankly, I missed listening to Wham last Christmas. So I didn't try so hard and had the radio on a bit more recklessly. And so I was out quite early. So,
okay. Well, I look forward to hearing how you get on this year.
Thank you.
And is it the case that if you lose this bizarre game, that you kind of just embrace the song and listen to it as much as possible?
Absolutely. But there is some social media etiquette. So you try not to post it on stories with like Instagram, for example, because that might get other people out.
Okay, I've heard of Instagram. Yeah. Okay, that's an interesting new tradition that I was not aware of. That's helpful. And maybe our listeners will want to please write in with your Whamageddon performance, and we'll get a league table sorted. I will see how people get on. Brings me to the next question. Your least favourite Christmas decoration? Not your favourite. I don't care about that. Your least favourite.
My least favourite. Well, in a generic sense, tinsel. I don't do tinsel. My house is a no tinsel zone.
Okay.
It's just too much, and that might surprise people because my whole kind of MO is too much, but tinsel, I don't know, it's too much. I prefer a kind of a bit more of a classy tree, let's say. So that's my generic, but specifically there is one that I can't bear.
Okay.
But we have to have it up every year. So every year it's a family tradition that we buy a bauble each. We take the kids to a Christmas shop and we all choose our bauble of the season. And Pete, my husband, loves to try and choose the tackiest, most gross looking Christmas decoration he can. And one year he really succeeded by finding some kind of plasticky golden cherub. It was like a naked cherub holding a harp, which was kind of like covered in like golden glitter, which like drops off. And that he knew I could bear it. And so obviously he had to have that. So that's his favourite and my least favourite.
Okay. And it has to go up every year.
Oh yeah, the kids won't let me not put it on, even if I may try and hide it. Nope, it has to go up.
It has to go up. Okay. Well, there we go. But I'm with you on tinsel. I'm not surprised because tinsel is detestable, really.
It is.
Yeah. So I imagine we're going to get lots of people saying tinsel as the answer to that question. But we'll see. Brings us to the last question. Thinking about the other aspect of Christmas, the whole Jesus being born bit and the nativity, wondering who is your favourite person in the nativity story, not including Jesus?
Herod. No.
Okay, I'm going to stop the recording here. And
no, stop. I would say my favourite person probably Mary. And I love in Luke's gospel, she gets a real good role in that. You learn lots about her and what she's thinking, and you get a good insight into that and to her family relationships, and she goes to stay with her cousin. So I really love that you get Mary's insight in that, and also just to see a picture of someone being so brave and faithful in the midst of something like really terrifying, that she's been visited by an angel and told she's going to give birth to the Messiah. I mean, not really every day, but she's got such a beautiful trust, and I love it. Like Mary says to her, not Mary, Elizabeth says to her, like, blessed is she who believed the Lord would fulfill his promises to her. And that's a gorgeous verse, I think, both looking at Mary, but also for us today. Love it.
Yeah, no, that's great. Thank you, Sophie. Did you ever get to play Mary?
No, never. I was always like, a random sheep or something. So never.
Well, no, but yeah, seeing that Mary is a wonderful picture we get, isn't it, in Luke's gospel, and see that the faith and the courage when she gets what would be very, even getting visited by an angel was scary, but to get that that suddenly everything's disrupted, and yet she trusts the Lord's word, and that's great.
Thanks. You are welcome.
You're about to say something else.
Was I?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm always glad to see a woman's perspective. I'm always, always like to. It's always awesome to see women taking on that role and see Mary entrusted with something so great. So I'm always happy to see that kind of women's representation there. It's fabulous.
Yeah. It is great. It is a great part of the nativity account that God has given us in His Word. That their key character is Mary. That is, yeah. Well, thank you for joining us today. It's been good to have you, Sophie, and we hope that you have a very happy Christmas.
Thanks. Happy Christmas to you too.
Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas!